What is up, people? It's Brian with Neverstate.com, and today we're going to talk about applying leg drive in the bench press. Now, it's kind of inevitable. If someone asks you if you lift, the next direct question is always, how much do you bench? Stop doing that. The bench press is not really a good indicator of how strong someone is. Rather, ask them how much they deadlift or squat. If they say they don't deadlift or squat, get away from them before you catch that disease. Now, if you do have a poverty bench, one of the reasons could be because you're only using half your body. The bench should be a full body exercise just like your squat or deadlift, and if you're not using leg drive, you're leaving a bunch of pounds out there in the ether, like Pluto. Leg drive on the bench is something that people talk about all the time, but everyone just kind of nods their head because they don't want to look stupid, but most people don't have a clue what is really taking place. So to help you remedy that, this video I'm going to try to teach you how to initiate some leg drive into your bench press, and if you do it correctly, I can guarantee you'll add a couple pounds to your bench almost immediately. So getting started, one of the first problems with leg drive is that you're not sticking to the bench. If you're working out at a commercial gym, this is probably a problem. A lot of people remedy this by sticking chalk on their back, upper traps kind of area. Or you can also stick bands around the bench like I've done here. Especially at the beginning when you're learning how to do this, sticking to the bench is going to be paramount. Secondly, if you're not getting leg drive in the bench, a huge reason could be because of your setup. So I'm going to walk you through my personal setup. Take from it what you will, use what's useful, throw away what's not. Taper to your own needs. That's step number one. So there's a whole lot of tips and other aspects to the bench press that I will not be covering in this video due to time constraints. For this, I'm just going to be talking about the setup in relation to the leg drive, but you guys can expect another bench video talking about other aspects coming soon. To get as tight as possible for the bench press, my first step is pulling myself towards the bar like I'm rowing, then placing my traps on the bench and trying to get them to stick. You can accomplish this by keeping your feet near the front of the bench, then laying back, getting your grip set, rowing yourself towards the bar, and then once your traps hit the bench, you try to dig them in so that it's like a foundation that you can push against. Then you put your butt down to set the position. This is side view in slow motion where you can see me row, set my traps, dig in, get my arch, then set my butt. From there I push my knees out and unrack the bar. Now to demonstrate exactly where I'm applying the force with my legs, I did this highly exaggerated motion here. So you can see if the weight wasn't pinning me to the bench and I didn't have a good setup, if my traps weren't dug in, as soon as the bar touched my chest, I'm pushing up and back. And if I wasn't pinned there, I would slide right to the head of the bench. That's what you want to be doing. Conversely, what usually happens is, and we've all been very guilty of this, you bring the bar down, it feels heavy, you start pushing, and immediately your butt leaves the bench. That's going to get you red lights at any powerlifting competition, and it really doesn't help you that much. Instead, what I'm doing here is driving up and back. My glutes still flex, and it almost looks like they leave the bench, but they don't. I'm pushing up and back, and my legs help move the bar faster. If you're wondering exactly how much leg drive to apply and when, for me personally, as soon as I unrack the bar, I push my knees slightly outward and I dig my heels into the ground hard. At the initial unrack position, I'm probably at about 60% engagement. As the bar descends, I'm at 70, 80, 90. Once it touches my chest, I'm 100% leg drive engaged, and it will stay that way for the entirety of the lift. The entire time, my legs are trying to drive my traps into the ground. I'm trying to push my body into the bench, and that makes the bar go up faster. It works like magic. All right, so hopefully you have a better idea of how to get leg drive initiated in your bench. 3 definite things you need to think of. 1 is getting purchase from your body to the bench by either adding chalk to your shoulders or bands to the bench, or find a better bench. Number 2, what's number 2? Number 2 is your setup. You need to be up on your traps, way up on your upper back, getting a good arch, and getting your hips above your knee. Step number 3 is actually applying that force through your legs where you're trying to slide your body back on the bench.
But if you did step number 1 correctly, you'll stick to the bench and you'll apply more force into the bar. As you're lowering the bar, you should be at 60%, 70, 80, 90. As soon as the bar touches your chest, your leg drive should be at 100%, reversing the motion, pushing it up. So hopefully you guys have a little more idea about the elusive leg drive and the bench press. Hopefully it helps you get your numbers up, get your bench out of poverty zone. Special thank you to Ryan from Facebook for asking the question. If you guys have anything you want to see me cover, all the links to my Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, my T-Nation log are all down below. Leave a question, maybe you'll get a video out of it. Thank you guys very much for watching. I hope this helped you out, and I'll catch up with you next time.